Hello people, and welcome to my Patreon page, or rather my project's Patreon page. I would first and foremost like to thank you for taking an interest in my project. This project has so far yielded two products: an e-learning platform, which is what you're currently looking at, and an academic journal platform. The e-learning platform is meant for anyone with an interest in teaching or learning anything, whilst the academic journal platform is meant for small and medium-sized academic institutions that house research centers that are involved in the publishing of academic journals. Subscribers to the e-learning platform will be happy to see that a wide variety of tools and features has been made available for them. Tools that allow them to create audio or video files, individual audio or video files, classes consisting of audio, video, multimedia, downloadable files, etc., courses that have classes with all these resources and can be made either private or public, or can be made public with a series of private classes. There are many features and possibilities, evaluation modules, etc. The homepage shows everything that has been created within the platform, whether it's a class or a course or an individual resources. These three, for example, are classes, and these classes have several videos in them. Then you have courses like Marketing Fundamentals, and if you check that one out, you'll see that there are various classes there in various editions, and that these editions may have public and private classes. This is particularly interesting if you want to have an open promotional class for everyone to gain an interest in your course, and then you want to charge for the rest of the program. I strongly recommend that you check out the platform and see the various resources that will become available to you, the various features. This is, for example, a class. We have a labeling system that makes this, I think, interesting, and classes may also have various resources. This may not be the best example because this class has only one resource, but you can check some of the other examples out there. This is a course, for example, and this course has a module, and this module has various resources. It has a reading that's embedded within the platform that you can check out without having to download that. You have downloadable files, and you have embedded videos, and you can have even more robust courses like the one you're looking at here. This is Marketing Fundamentals, and in addition to the image, the description, you also have additional information like the expected time that a would-be participant would have to dedicate to the program, who the program is intended for, the program, and in this case you have various modules, and know that some modules may be public and some others may remain private. This is interesting if you want to promote your course and show perhaps a bit of a teaser of the course, and then have some other content made available only to those people who enroll in the course. In this case, Module 1 has a couple of resources. It has a video, a file, and another reading for people to check out within the platform. You have also SCORM objects, and these SCORM objects are fully integrated within the platform if you have programmed them correctly. When a participant completes a SCORM object, it transmits the data to the SCORM results, and that I think is very interesting. So you also have activities. I'm not going to go too deep into the activities because I know there are many questions that people are going to have about this. What types of questions does your quiz module have? How does it work? Can I have a pool of questions to pull from? Can I categorize these questions? Can I make some questions random and some questions mandatory? Can I use random answers, and so on and so forth? These questions are all answered in a course that I have included on how to use the platform. I made the platform so that it is as robust as it can be, and I know that that translates into additional complexity because the more robust a software is, the more complex it is to use. Take for instance Movie Maker and Adobe Premiere Pro. Movie Maker is meant for casual users who just want to put together a video of their cats, for example, and upload that to the internet, whilst Adobe Premiere Pro is meant for professional video editors. This platform, although it is a hosted platform and although it is free to use, is meant to include a vast array of options for those who take teaching seriously. You can add exams, SCORM, H5P, resources of various natures. If you're a premium subscriber, you can also create your own school. And of course, that demands that you take the time to learn how to use these features. And I suspect that if you're serious about this and you are willing to invest time to get your school and your courses started, you might as well take the time to learn how to use this free-to-use platform. And you have videos for everything. This video, for example, tells you how to register to the platform, how to create resources, how to create classes, how to create courses, how to duplicate editions. And whenever a feature is only available for premium users, it says so. And you have videos that tell you how to do this. And they each have their explanation, their title and explanation. So you can check that out if you're willing to use the platform. This platform has full integration with H5P. This is a fantastic technology that, in my opinion, will sooner rather than later take over SCORM and Tin Can and some other multimedia technologies. Because with this technology, users can create rich interactive multimedia experiences without having to buy costly licensed products. They can use H5P, and with H5P they can create interactive videos, memory game, flashcards, and so on and so forth. These modules may even act like SCORM as learning packages that include both the lesson and the evaluation. That is really interesting. You can check that out in h5p.org. This is a really cool website, and it tells you what you can do. It tells you how to do it, and it tells you all about the integration with the different platforms that are out there. It's really cool, and I think you should check it out. Now, if you want to help out, there is this roadmap that I have included and that you can check at this URL, and it tells you about the things that need doing and how much it would cost. And there are some things that, of course, need to be implemented in a certain sequence because, for example, the inclusion of Apache Open Meetings requires for there to be a more robust server for the platform, and that is, for the time being, not a reality. I'm willing to migrate this to a stronger, faster, more robust server so that I can add Apache Open Meetings. Check this out. This is a really cool tool for online conferences, especially when they're meant for teaching experiences, teaching and learning experiences. This is really cool. Now, if you would like to pledge a certain amount for a certain feature, you can always write to me and say, hey, I need this platform to be a multi-language platform sooner rather than later. I'm very interested in this. Well, this is what I need for that to happen. You can pledge money to this particular quote-unquote cause, and I will get to work on it. Now, as you can see, everything here is in Spanish, but it is within the roadmap to make it a multi-language platform. Now, as you may imagine, this is not the only thing that I'm working on. I'm also an e-learning consultant, information technologies consultant, and that's what I do for a living, and I dedicate time to these projects in my spare time. But if someone is paying for it, it is no longer spare time, I think. So if you would like to make a pledge for any of these features, just let me know. Now, the academic journal is a different project, and this, as I said, is meant for small and medium-sized institutes and colleges that are interested in research. The reason why this project exists is because I have been involved on and off with the research community, and I have worked at various research centers and institutes, and none of them seem to be 100% on board with open journal systems. Because although it is the go-to system when it comes to academic journals, it is not without its caveats. Its many ugly caveats. So we have tried to replicate these features in academic journal, and we have tried to make those features and those processes a little bit leaner for the typical stakeholders that you have in academic journals, such as editors, authors, revisioners, etc. And we have also tried to include some features that are not necessarily features that you expect to find in an academic journal software. Those have to do with social sharing and graphic perks and features here and there. And we have tried to implement all those in this platform. It is 80% done. This is how a number of a journal would look like. Number 21, volume 1. And you can see the cover of the journal. This is of course not real. This is just for the example. It has the name, it has the number, the volume, the year, the description, all of these fields you expect to find in an academic journal. There are some that maybe not so much, like the possibility to share in a variety of social media outlets like Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. Some of them that are more academic. And this is an example of how the article is shown. As I said, this is 80% done, so there's lots of graphic work that still needs to be done. But this is an article. This journal, for example, has articles and it has reviews. And I added 2 articles for demo purposes. And this is the title of the article. This is the teaser of the article. And these are the authors. Now, I've always found interesting the fact that one way to search for papers is by area of knowledge and affiliation. So it would be nice to have a simple link that points to an area of knowledge so that you can see which other authors are working on a certain area of knowledge. That I think is important, and that was not present, I think, in Open Journal System. Also, the affiliation is important. Maybe you want to click on the university and see who else is working there. I have that page open. As you can see, it's all very rough. It's rough around the edges and in the center too, to be honest. This should have been a table, and of course we're going to rework this view so that it presents its contents as a table. But as you can see, this is the university that I clicked on, and I can see 3 authors here and their areas of knowledge. And if I click on the area of knowledge, I'd get a view with that. Now, this is how an article looks. You have the cover of the number of the journal in which this article appeared. You have its authors, once again. You have its keywords. You have a proposed citation. And we're working heavily on this because this proposed citation is per platform and not per journal. And we know that there are various areas of knowledge and they use different citation policies. Some have Chicago, some Vancouver, some have APA, and we're working on this, but for the time being, it's 1 per platform. You have an abstract, you have the abstract in Spanish, you have the paper itself that you can download by clicking here. And in this case, there are additional files. I included a couple of files that have nothing to do with the article, just so that you can see how it works. You can add graphics and pictures, and I think that if you include additional material, it should be easy on the eye and it should be easy for someone to check on. There are comments, people can leave comments, and I know that this is a feature that not everyone is going to be crazy about, because I know how the research community is, and not everyone is fond of having people comment on what they write, because there's a thing of authority here. Do you have the authority to comment or remark upon my article? Then you shouldn't. I know how this works, so this is configurable. You can, of course, turn this on and off on a per magazine or per article basis, which is really interesting. There's an interesting permission granularity to this. And I also have put lots of thought into the administrative or editorial features of the magazine. I know it's really cool that Open Journal System can do that, but the user experience is not anyone's favorite. So I'm showing you here an example of a screen that shows a view of articles that have been submitted by revisioning. That means that you start by putting out a call for authors to submit their papers. As an editor, you can check out every article that has been submitted, and you can filter by title, you can search by title, you can search by author, you can search by the revisers that have been assigned, you can filter by the verdict, you can filter by the status, and you can filter by the call, which is interesting. And here you see a view, and you can right off the bat assign revisers. And what's interesting here is that let's say that I'm going to delete a few of the judges here. Let's say that I want this article is about civil engineering, and you don't know the authors that are registered in the platform. So it may be a little bit hard to look for them, and you don't know if this article has anything to do with their area of expertise. So you can type here their area of expertise, like civil, and if you do that, it will return you a list of people whose expertise has something to do with what you have written. Or maybe you say, oh, I don't know exactly what area of expertise this is, but I know that such institution is strong when it comes to civil engineer, let's say. So you can type the name of your college and it will return a list of colleges that have any of the words included. Or maybe I do know the user here. So, okay, let's type the name of the user, and that returns what you are typing. And that is really interesting because it makes everything leaner. So you can add up to 3 revisers, and then you can save the view. And if you do that, the status will automatically update to assigned to a revisor. And of course you can change this manually, but there are rules that apply here that validate that there are revisers. And if there are, they will be getting an email, and the status of the view will be updated. And if this revisor accepts the paper and rates it as a pass, it gives it a passing grade, you can change this to published and it will automatically be added to the magazine. I'm not going to show you the specifics on how this is done, but this is very, very automated. I'm rather proud of the revisioning form because the revisioning form is very automated. You can define a passing score. You can define a passing score per category. You can define a default recommendation depending on the score, but that can be overwritten manually by the revisor. And whenever there's a status change, you can receive a message. I think that it covers pretty much all the features that everyone has been hoping for. This academic journal, I think, is a wish list of things people who are involved in the writing and publishing of papers have always wanted. It's not ready, but it's almost there. It's 80% done. These are the 2 products that make up the bulk of my project. Hopefully you find them interesting. Hopefully you'd be interested in pledging. And remember, I also provide consulting services, e-learning consulting services, interactive technology consulting services, and these classes that you see here, I have created all of them. I have not created all of the courses, of course, but these first 4 that have to do with the steps that you have to follow and how you have to do things if you want to start your own e-learning platform for your own institution, I have created content for that. You can check that content out. You can write to me. And of course, you can hit me for paid work, or you can pledge if you want. If you visit my Patreon page, you will see that there are various pledging tiers that will provide you with different benefits. So check those out. And again, thank you for taking interest, and see you on the next video.